Hello, lovely readers. My name is Marlena Frank, and I'm a YA fantasy and horror author. Today I'm picking up in my Scrivener tutorial series. I got a lot of feedback recently that the music in my other tutorials was too loud, so I've lowered the volume on this one, and I will be creating a whole playlist for my Scrivener tutorial videos without music in the background. Thank you to everyone who gave me feedback. I learn more with every video that I create, so I really appreciate it. So back to today's video. If you're following along in the Scrivener tutorial playlist, this is part 5. Again, I'm not sponsored for any of these Scrivener tutorials, but I like helping folks out. Today we'll talk about keywords. This is a very important feature of Scrivener, at least I think so I'm dedicating a whole video to it. Let's dive in, shall we? So once again, here's our sample Scrivener file we've been working on for the entire Scrivener tutorial series. We're going to start in Scene 3 of Chapter 1, and we'll look at the tab on the inspector that has a key on it, as seen at the top right here. This is the Keywords tab. At the bottom, you'll see a section for keywords. Now, keywords are helpful for keeping track of when characters appear in a story, what location the scene takes place in, and I like to use them for themes as well. That way I can keep track of when I'm hitting emotional moments for the protagonist throughout the story, especially as they grow or change, which is especially useful when writing a series with that same protagonist. In this example, we'll keep track of when Jane Doe appears in a scene. Click on the plus sign on the Keywords section to add a keyword, then just type in the name of that keyword. A color will automatically be assigned. Here we'll enter Jane Doe. Let's say this scene also happens in the gazebo, so we'll enter a keyword for that as well. You can use the minus sign in order to remove a keyword. Let's look at how powerful this can be. Click on the gear and go to Show Project Keywords. Here you see all the keywords that you've been using. We can also add keywords here. Click on the bottom left button to add a new keyword. Let's make one for John Doe. In this case, we want to keep track of who was a good guy and who was a bad guy, so we can create keywords for each category, good guys and bad guys. Let's say that Jane Doe is a good guy. We'll also add a category for bad guys. Notice that you can drag and drop any keyword to be a parent or child anywhere here. You can also nest them. So we'll drop John Doe into the bad guys section. Let's choose colors now. I like the good guys color, but let's choose a different color for the bad guys. So double click on a color, then choose the color you want. Then click OK. We can also drag and drop the keywords from this window. So let's drag John Doe over to the keyword for this scene, or just remove him with the minus sign. Let's add a theme keyword now. I like to keep them organized, so let's create a themes category. Let's add darkness as one theme, isolation as another. This is a werewolf novel, right? Let's also include one for nature. Now let's say this is a scene where Jane Doe is in a gazebo feeling very isolated. Now let's add isolation to other scenes, and we can just drag and drop them over. Let's go ahead and close out this keywords menu and see how we can use these in searches. Up in the top right is the search bar, and you'll notice I've got it set to search keywords already, but by default it's set to all, which searches in all sections of the project. But here we'll choose keywords. So let's look for all scenes that have that isolation keyword in them. You'll notice your search results show up in the left side panel. Now the searching in Scrivener is also very powerful. So if you want to search specifically in the synopsis, we can do that. So let's look at the word scene. I've only used it in scene 3 in the synopsis, or the note card for that scene. I can go back and look at the corkboard for chapter 1 and see that that is the case. Now let's look up werewolf for all scenes. I can say I only used that in scene 1. You can do a lot with a search bar, from choosing a case-sensitive search to excluding items in the trash, which is in the bottom left of the binder. You can also search labels and statuses. This makes it really easy to see which scenes still need work, or to find that one missing gun that was left with a character. So this is an example of the keywords that I use in a single scene in Stolen. You'll notice that I have various characters, but I also have various themes that I refer to. I'll be curious to see if folks can figure out which section of Stolen that this is from. This is really useful for keeping track of your hero's journey throughout the length of your story, or throughout the length of your series. This is book 1 of a trilogy that I'm working on, so it's important for me to keep track of the character's progression throughout the tale. Now if you look at my project keywords, you'll see that I've got useful items, unused scenes, characters, themes, and locations. Useful items are things that I need to keep track of that I don't want to forget about, like the missing gun I mentioned earlier. Unused scenes are scenes that I did not include in the final version of Stolen, but ones that I had to write out in order to figure out the plot. Then you have characters, themes, and locations, some with subcategories as well, such as the loyalties of those characters, or the world that a location belongs to. I think that's it for now. Next time, I'll cover importing images into your project and generating names within Scrivener. The book you see here is my debut novel, Stolen, which is also available in a gorgeous hardback. It's now available from Barnes & Noble, and I'm hoping to order some more for when we head to Decatur Book Festival next month. I'm super excited, but also super nervous because that's going to be a big, all-weekend event. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and let me know. I love hearing what you all think, or if there's a specific feature you want me to tackle. You can watch the full series of these videos in my Scrivener Tutorials playlist available on my channel page. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all next week. Happy writing!